Okay guys, so let's talk about Padre. And, who's using Padre here? So what are you looking for?
I'm intrigued.
Sorry?
I'm intrigued why I should be using Padre.
Oh, okay. So I'm not going to give a talk about why Padre is so fantastic.
Just brief. Why Padre is so fantastic?
Why? It's not that fantastic. It's a reasonable good editor for people who are used to Windows-like editors, Notepad and stuff, and who would like to have extra features for Perl development. So if people are using, that's what I'm trying to tell everyone in the Perl communities. If they are using VI or Emacs, and those people who are using those editors are usually really satisfied with their environment. If they are not, then they are fixing it. So just go ahead and use it. But think about all the other people who are coming from Windows world, and they are used to either some kind of an IDE, or they are used to Notepad++, and we might want to give them something that's more powerful, specifically for Perl development, and that's one of the main reasons to use Padre. And then there are a couple of other reasons. So if you have a larger project, then you might get some additional help from Padre, and it came. I mean, Padre started like 3 years ago, and it came a long way since then. So there are a lot of improvement, a lot of development went into it, but it's still quite far from what I imagined that's going to be. That it's going to be how easy it's going to, how much it's going to help the development of Perl. One thing that happened, and I'm quite happy that this happened. People don't? No, I don't. So one thing that happened that I was happy, and I hope that it's going to happen more and more, is that some of the features that were built for Padre, Perl specific features, got split out from Padre into a separate module, and then they can be used from the command line via some script, and then you can hook it up to VI or Emacs or many other editors. So for example, let's see, here is just a simple example of code. So if you have outline view, so on the right side, you can turn an outline and you can see what pragmas you're using, what modules you are using. This script doesn't use what methods you might have and stuff like this. So the code that generates this was moved out from Padre already, and it can be used for, and I hope that, for example, that it will be hooked up into MetaCPen. So on the MetaCPen UI, when you look at the module, you will see this out. That's going to be nice, even outside of the realm of editors. But that's just the one thing. Now, one of the key things that I keep telling about Padre that's good is that the fact that it was written in Perl 5, and that's good specifically for people who write in Perl. So the whole part of the success of Eclipse was the fact that it was written in Java, so all the Eclipse users could become developers, or they could help with fixing it or whatever. Same idea with Padre. So it's written in Perl 5. All the users of Padre can become easily developers. The code base is relatively okay. It's not very complex, and people on the IRC channel can help you get in how to find issues with Padre. But in order to get people more easily, to get people to start using Padre and start developing for Padre more easily, quite at the beginning I added a plugin system, and one of the so you can write plugins in Perl, and then later on we turned on a feature of what we started to call My Plugin, with the idea that this is a plugin that comes with Padre. It's basically empty, but very quickly you will be able to start writing your own plugin, and that's basically what to talk about. So how do you write your own plugin to Padre. So when you go to the editor and you go to the tools menu, there is a plugin tools submenu, and here there is an edit my plugin. So Padre comes with this plugin, which is it's just a skeleton basically. But once you click on this menu item, Padre copies this file into your configuration area, which is the .padre directory or some other place in Windows, makes it writable as well, and then you can start writing this, changing this file. So what's in there when you get it by default? In order to use it, you have to go to the plugin manager, and here is my plugin. It's disabled currently, so I click on enable, and then now the plugin is enabled. And if I go back to the tools menu, now you can see that there is a my plugin entry. Actually, I have two other plugins enabled here, but there is the my plugin entry, and it has an about entry. So that's what you get by default. And this is the code. So at the top there you have some skeleton. Let's enlarge a bit the font. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Can you see it from there too? Okay. So you have a skeleton, version number, whatever. What's interesting is the name of the plugin here. So there is a subroutine or a method call that returns the actual name of the plugin that will appear here. Okay. So that's the way how you. Currently, the plugins are restricted to have a submenu tree here in this area. We didn't have yet an easy way to allow plugins to put menu items in all kind of places in the menu system, but it's going to happen at some point. So right now, if you want more menu entries for your plugin, they will all hang here in this tool menu. So this is the my plugin, and then there is a subroutine or method called menu plugin simple that should return a data structure that actually has again the name of the plugin. I'm not really sure why we have this duplication. So we have again the name of the plugin, which was just fetched from there, and then an array or reference to an array with actual pairs. So in the array you have the first element is the name of the submenu. So it's not a hash, because we have you need the order, but it's still sort of every two values. And I didn't want to build sub-hashes because it just makes it more complex. So anyway, you have pairs. So this is the title of the submenu and the subroutine that will be called when someone clicks on the submenu. And this specifically just calls the show about menu, that if you can scroll down, then you will see here down that's the implementation of the about box of this menu. So how can you improve this? Okay, that's the default here, and this is what. So this is not for the presentation only. This is really the code that comes with Padre. So if you now go and do this, that you will get the skeleton with these examples commented out. And actually, I added them because to make it easier to make the presentation, but that's part of Padre. So now I enabled this another menu entry, which has another subroutine, cool. And if I go here and I click on my plugin, obviously you don't see it yet because I just edited the file. So in order to allow Padre to see it, I can come to the plugin tools and say click on reload my plugin. So there are specific entries just for editing the my plugin. So I can click on reload my plugin, and if I click here again, now I have both menu entries. Okay, actually now I'm using the mouse quite a lot, but we try to allow people to use only the keyboard. And then if you use the keyboard, you have to press the arrow to get to this point, and you prefer maybe you prefer to press just the M key, so to have the hotkey, the M there. So let's do that now. In order to have a hotkey, it's what you usually do is an ampersand you put in front of the key. So I save the file again, and I in the reload the my plugin, and if I click now tools, then Alt T. Now if I press the Alt, then you can see that under the M there is an underscore, and I can press M and it will jump there. So that's how you can add just simply a hotkey. And now if I click on this another
Item.
Sorry?
Item and
Alt T because of the tools is T, and then I added for M. So it's not a shortcut. It's not a key binding. It's just a hotkey. Yeah, it's just a hotkey there. So now if I click on another menu, I get this pop-up. Okay.
yeah.
Which is why do I get this? Because there is the other menu already implemented. Now that was again part of the skeleton that you got. And what does it do? So when the other menu is called, you get the self, which is the object, and from that self you can call the main method, which will return you the main object of Padre. And on that main object we have several methods to make it easier to do simple things. For example, we have the message method that will get two values. One of them is the title on the pop-up window, and the other one is actually the content of that message, of that window. Similarly, I could change this, so instead of just a message, I could change it. So I'm going to call this prompt method that will display a window with an entry box. It will have a question, it will have a title, and it has a unique key here. And the idea, because you can actually change this, so the idea is that you're going to have some unique string here, and the idea is that Padre will remember the answers you gave based on this unique key. So you have different pop-ups, and it will remember what was the previous answer there. So if you do the same thing and you need to type in the same string several times, it will remember the previous one. Always, and that makes it easier. So now to see how this works, again I have to go and reload my plugin, and if I go to my plugin, another menu, then now you see that you have the pop-up window with the entry box. You can type in something, and if I press OK, then the value I typed in goes into this $name, and then the next call, which is a message, just brings out that thing what I just typed in. Okay, so that's it. That's how you write plugins, and obviously this is Perl code. So from that point you can do whatever you want. You might want to actually interact with the current document, right? That might be something very interesting. So how do you do that? Is that you okay, so this is the code that interacts with the current document. There is the Padre current class, from which you can get all kinds of things about the current document. You can get the current editor, which is the editor object, the document, which is the content in the current editor thing. You see there are a couple of editors, this what we call tabs, but whatever, tabs or editors. So the current document will return the document object of the current.
This code on GitHub.
Sorry?
This code as a method. This code on GitHub.
This code? This is in Padre.
In Padre? No, in my Padre I have it as a method.
Well, maybe it's an older version. So it's in the last couple of versions we added all this code.
Okay.
Okay? But but I think most of this stuff can be used in older version. Just the examples were added in the last couple of months, I think. So in the Padre, from the Padre current class, I can fetch the current document, and then from that document, I can call the text get method that will return the content of the current editor, current text. We have to be careful though, because our menu will be enabled even if there is no document at all. If you close all the files, those will still be there. So if now you select the method, the menu option, then it will return undef here, and then you call the method on undef unhealthy. Okay, so if you want to make it more user-proof for yourself, then you will check whether the document was usually received an object or not. And then you get the text. You can do whatever you want with the text now. For example, count the length and then get the file name of the current document and whatever, and then send out a message displaying the name of the current file and how many bytes are there. Not that interesting. I'll skip the showing that part and I'll go over to the next example.
Can I just ask one question, sir?
Sorry?
Is it a Padre feature to uncomment and comment code? You just highlighting there and then you...
I'm highlighting Control M and Control Shift M.
Okay.
That's just putting in the comments and then removing. So this one will fetch again the document, fetch the content of the document. Now I have a string with the text, and then I can do whatever I do here, removing the trailing spaces, let's say, or trailing white spaces, and then I put back the text. And within the editor, it will look like one single change. So if you press Ctrl Z, then it will undo it.
When I look at text, not as a text, but something like document object model.
No, there is no, in here there is no document object model. It's just, you get the text.
Yeah, for example, catch the moment when different parts of syntax are highlighted.
So right now there is no, oh, that's difficult. So first of all, there are various additional parts of the API, of the plugin API, but if you need some more things to do, then come over to the IRC channel and talk about it, because we are open to adding more features, more API calls. So specifically handling the syntax here, I'm not sure that can be done easily, because the syntax highlighting is done by the editor object, which is a C++ based object for us. So you don't have callbacks on that one probably.
This editor frame is, as an understand, scintilla.
This editor frame itself inside is actually a scintilla widget. Yeah. So
you mostly control only menus and all things around.
Yes. So up till a couple of months ago, we had no control whatsoever on the scintilla. We were using the scintilla, what came with WX widgets, which was like 4 years old scintilla. It even didn't know what to do with the defined OR that was in 5.10. It was a major issue for Padre. But since then, in the last couple of months, Ahmed Zawabi imported basically, or implemented a direct binding of the scintilla, whatever it is, editor object, from Perl. So you have a module called W scintilla now on CPAN, and if it's installed, then you can actually configure it to be used by Padre. By default, it's not using it because we are still at a bit of the beginning of that. But you can come to the tools, preferences, advanced. It doesn't have a menu, and then scintilla. And here, by default, it's false, and you can turn it on to true, and save it. And currently, in order to make it used, you actually have to restart Padre because it doesn't read that thing again. But from that point on, you use the latest scintilla. And now we are already at the point that our scintilla is the same as their development version. Not even the release version. So we are slightly on the bleeding edge there as well. But at least that means that any bug we find regarding the Perl syntax highlighting or any need we might have of extra syntax highlighting, we can push back there quite easily and get it used by us. Because so earlier it was like, okay, there's no point of helping scintilla because we won't get that in the next 5 years anyway. So now it's one short note. Okay, guys, basically I did this part. One thing that I wanted to show.
Here, this code, you not commit? Yes. As a method. No, I couldn't as a method show well, but maybe it's old.
What are the revisions? 13,000?
It's on the span. On the span, it's.
No, it should be. It should be here. I'll check it later. One thing I wanted to show that I couldn't is that, but I don't really haven't tried it really yet. So this is the WX form builder. Okay, this is an application you can download from SourceForge. With this application, you can drag and drop, build an application like this, or here I started to build an IRC client. Okay, it's a big window, small window, whatever. Okay?
It's supposed to be a plugin for Padre?
So, yeah. So if you come, once you created a window with that, okay, just as I created, then you come here, tools, you have to install this plugin, the Padre Form Builder plugin, and then you browse, you select, if you find it, Gabor. Sorry, not this one. Padre.
How can you make a shortcut for as method?
Yeah, it says, okay. You load that file that was saved by that editor, and then you can come here, generate dialog code, and it will automatically generate the code for that. And most of the menus actually of Padre are already generated by this. And then you can, a lot easier, once you learn how to use this tool, a lot easier you can drag and drop and create some kind of a more complex GUI for your plugin, or even for a full application. So because this thing can either generate a dialog specifically for Padre, or can generate code for a standalone application. And then you can start writing these standalone applications that are platform independent. Okay, so at least Linux and Windows and Macintosh up now. And then you can write plugins. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Does Padre support code folding?
Sorry?
Does it support folding of code?
Yes, there is code folding, and most of the stuff that editors do is there. So.
How can they make shortcuts to other?
By the way, sign up to the Perl Weekly if you haven't done it yet.
You say in Perl Weekly. Yes.
No, what? No, I'm just saying that to sign up there. If you haven't signed yet up, then sign up. It's just a weekly newsletter.
I read your website.
Yeah, for Perl News. Okay. So in regards to the level, we consider that most of the features that Notepad++ has, Padre has, there are sure features of Notepad++ that we don't yet have. Editor-wise, Padre is weaker than Eclipse. But Perl-wise, it's better probably already. There are kind of features that I don't want to go in now.
Okay. Currently I'm using Epic.
What?
I'm using Epic at the moment.
Epic?
Epic.
Oh yeah. So if you want to compare to that, then Perl-wise probably it's slightly better, though the debugger is not there. But editor-wise, I'm quite sure that Epic has. But you have all these. You have this, for example, search, quick menu access, or open resource that were all directly taken from Eclipse. Because Ahmad Zawabi, he's actually a Java programmer in his real life.
I'd like to ask in Windows.
That is the next topic. Yours? Okay, so just kick me out.
Well, I just want to make sure.
Okay, go ahead.
You can carry on talking.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just answering the question. Yeah, so?
I like in most Windows editors, I had the possibility to sort lines and to find and replace in selection. So if I have selection, find and replace automatically work on this.
So what?
And,
I think we have it already.
I didn't. I tried.
No, it's in the latest version probably. And we keep breaking that part now. So it's the whole search and thing.
I had 0.84 now.
No, that's old. That's actually old because we are not releasing quite often. But for example, what I would like to have is to be able to do that within a subtree or within a block. So do search and replace within the current block.
What kind of
it's very good.
It's you mean in bracelet?
Yeah, right. The block meant by Perl.
Okay, this means spatial shortcut for it. It can't happen automatically.
No. I mean, you say you do the search and replace window, and then you say do it in the current function.
You still need one click for it. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
This is what
But especially interesting if you have a huge function from some code base that you get this company. It's okay. Oh, this is just a scripting language. Go ahead and fix it. You get this 1,000 line long code, and then what do you do? Let's do